we've been talking about this a little bit before we went on and we started recording. Raw versus SmackDown Live. Which one was the better show this week? And you think I'm going to be surprised by this?
I'll say this. Okay, SmackDown Live did have the best match of the week. Hands down. Easily. Nothing really compared to it. Okay? I'll give it that. But what else did it really have? When you think about it.
Samoa Joe and Mandy Rose?
That's pretty much it. Everything else was
count for something.
Everything else was kind of a letdown compared to what normally happens. On SmackDown is normally must-see TV. Like, you're on your edges of your seat the entire show. You're having fun. You're having a good time. This week, I had about a half hour to 45 minutes of on the edge of my seat. That's it.
On the edge of my sheet.
On the edge of my seat. And the rest was like, this is a show. Nothing's really bad, but nothing's really nothing's really jumping out at me other than Rey Mysterio versus Andrade. Monday Night Raw, I was on the edge of my seat for most of it.
That was must-see.
I liked almost everything that came out of that show. In fact, just thinking off the top of my head right now, I don't remember anything that I hated. Absolutely
I'll tell you what, neither can I.
And Monday Night Raw, normally I could come up with about 3 to 5 things that I hate on a weekly basis. But this, you could tell that what happened last week lit a fire under the WWE's ass. Because
Absolutely.
That show on Monday was breakneck pace. Okay, there was no filler.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everything had its spot. Even the Revival versus the Lucha House Party, because it was continuing a story from last week that you're invested in because you want the Revival to do well. Mm-hmm. Okay, knowing what we know, it's really not going to matter. But on TV,
Hopefully.
I want the Revival to do well, so I'm invested in their storyline, and really, what Raw did was everything had a purpose. Okay, and this week in particular, all purposes were met.
Yes.
Okay, Ronda Rousey, Sasha Banks. Okay, we actually got some heat on that feud.
I dig it.
Okay, Sasha Banks took over the segment because I still have a problem with Ronda Rousey interacting. But we all know when she gets in the ring, she turns it on and goes to 100 and everything's great. So I can take a step back on that. But what's happening here is that everything on the Raw side for the Royal Rumble was built well. Mm-hmm. On Monday Night Raw. And all the side stories that aren't going to have anything to do with the Rumble were also built well. Okay, and most of the time the filler stuff is annoying. Okay, this week not so much. Okay, I enjoyed every second of Raw. I enjoyed SmackDown, but not as much as I enjoyed Raw. I'm giving it to Raw this week.
I'm right there with you. I always try to come up with a good, solid, legitimate reason to give it to Raw after week of just giving it to SmackDown whenever this question comes up. This absolutely was Raw's week. SmackDown certainly wasn't weak in manner of speaking, but Monday Night Raw, because it was so jam-packed, just had hit after hit after hit. I cannot say no to it. You know what? I think we're all in agreement. Raw won this week.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's what we think about this week in wrestling and all of its assorted accoutrements. So now we're turning it over to you, our listening and viewing audience. What did you think? Which show was stronger, Raw or SmackDown? What do you think of the Revival possibly leaving? What do you think about what's going on with Mortal Kombat 11 and Ronda Rousey or whoever else? We want to know it all. So, of course, you can join us and our conversations wherever you can find them. If you're joining us on YouTube, leave us a comment, likes. You know how it goes. If you're on Facebook, just look us up on at the Scholars of Wrestling Show. Like our page, leave us a comment. We always love the love. But if you want to get a little bit more up close and personal with us, you can always check us out on Twitter, starting with at ScholarsOW, our main page for all the latest wrestling and episode uploads. And you can also check us out on our personal Twitter accounts. Brian, where can they reach you?
You can find me at Atomic Beanpole.
You can find our current reigning and defending Scholars of Wrestling champion, Scholar Tarek, at The Avataric, and you can find me at I'm Robbie Rage. Join the conversation. It's not too far from the Royal Rumble. Now is the time to get in on the ground floor of this. And of course, if you want to put in some real legitimate predictions, while you're on Facebook, check out the 2019 Royal Rumble prediction game. It's a game we run every year. Pick 3 numbers. The winner of each match. Most points wins. Check us out. Do it. But in the meantime, we got some business to attend to. Because you know who we are. We are the Scholars of Wrestling. And you have just been schooled. You're welcome. See you next week for the big prediction show.